wickedness, and the people, all right, so this proves that it's not speaking about just Esau, all right, because Esau was the progenitor of the Edomites, man, all right, so it's speaking about the whole nation of Edom, man, all right, the Edomites as a whole, you feel what I'm saying? And it says, the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever, man, all right, so the Lord has hate against you so-called white people forever, man, all right, and he's about to show you that hate, man, well, he already showed you that hate by making you look the way you look. All right, taking that pigmentation from you. That's a sign of hate. All right, the fact that you can't, the earth fights against you, that's a sign of hate. All right, but the Most High is gonna really show you, man. All right, he's gonna show you that who he's really dealing with. Okay, and it says, and your eyes shall see, and ye shall say, the Lord will be magnified from the border of Israel, man. So the Israelites are gonna be proven to be the Lord's chosen people, man. Okay, at the end of this whole thing, you see, because Esau's been living good all this for a few hundred years, man. You see what I'm saying? But now it's the time that his kingdom is going down. That's why you see their kingdom going. You see the economy's failing, right? The only thing left now is World War III, you know. And once that's over, you Edomites are going directly into slavery, man. Let's get what's that? Micah? Not Micah, Salakia. Hosea 1. Let's get Hosea 1, man. Alright, because the Most High is gonna magnify Israel. Alright, he's gonna show the world who his people are. Alright, and they're starting to see it now because we're out here pushing this truth out. We're breaking it down thoroughly, man. Alright? It says that the Most High will give us a tongue that our enemies will not be able to gainsay nor resist. They can't resist what we're saying. Right? When we break it down very clearly, man. Okay? Precept upon precept, line upon line. Right? So they really have nothing to say. They try to come with their counter arguments, but it doesn't hold up, man. Okay? Let's get Hosea 1 and I'll start at verse 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power, man. And that's what all these nations are gonna say, man. All these nations are gonna understand that we are the children of the Most High. Okay? The so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. They're gonna realize that. You understand? Because Israel's been marginalized for such a long time amongst all these nations. But the Most High did this strategically, man. Alright? To raise the so-called underdog, right, from the bottom and put them on the top, just like he did the Edomites. Okay? Because Esau was always a base person. He was always a low person, man. Okay? When these Edomites were in the caves, they didn't even have a language, man. When the so-called white man was in the cave, he didn't have a language. You understand? This was only a few hundred years ago. This wasn't no thousands of millions of years ago, man, like they try and paint. This was not too long ago. Let's get Deuteronomy 7 and 6, man. It says Deuteronomy 7 verse 6, because Israel was made to rule the planet, man. The true Israelites. This is Deuteronomy 7 verse 6, and it reads, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power. The Lord thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So the Israelites are above all people, man. Okay? And the true Israelites, according to the Bible, right, that all the prophecies fit us, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Alright? Those are the 12 tribes of Israel. Alright? And the enemies who put us in slavery and took our land, right? Took the land from the Native Americans, and you slaughtered us and all these different things, the Most High is going to give you recompense for that. Alright? The judgment is written in the Holy Bible, man. Alright? And this is, alright? So these Edomites can't get away from it, man. No matter how they try to, they have something called, what's it called? They're suffering from a condition, man, where they have to deny the truth. They want to believe the lie. You feel what I'm saying? I can't remember what the condition is called, but all these Edomites suffer from that same condition. All right. Let's get what's that? Oh, matter of fact, let me get the Apocrypha, man. Okay. Like I said, man, they're not going to expect it. They're not going to expect the fact that the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true children of the Most High, right? Which, even though a lot of them are seeing it now, they don't want to accept it. Okay? I think it's called dissonance, consonant. I can't remember what it's called. But the elder did a video on that, man. And all these Edomites suffer from that, man. Which is why they deny the truth. Wisdom of Solomon 5 in verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such that have afflicted him. And who has afflicted us as a people? Right? So-called white people, these Edomites. All right? So we're standing up and we're telling them to their face that they're going into slavery, man, according to the Bible. You understand what I'm saying? We're telling them who they are, man. Telling them that they're Edomites, they're not white. There's no such thing as white people. We're not black. There's no such thing as black people. You understand? That was a term that was created in what, 1681 in Virginia? That's not a real term, man. Right? When you look it up, white means what? Pure, right? Innocent. When you look up black, what does that mean? It means negative, void of light, evil. Right? When you look up the actual Webster definition. But they did that on purpose, man. They know, psychologically, these Edomites knew what they were doing. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. You know you're an Edomite, man?
Did
you know that?
I consider myself a Canadian. I mean, I don't know who the Edomites would be in the Bible.
Well, the Edomites are in the Bible. You never heard about the Edomites in the Bible?
Well, I've heard about them
right now. Yeah.
I can show you right now. I'll show you.
Cheap right here.
Right now. This is 2nd Ezra 9. No, 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. I'll show you this. You familiar with the Bible?
Oh, no. Yeah. We didn't.
You are?
Yeah.
Are you a Christian?
Well, I would prefer
Great. Yeah.
defer from describing my identity.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Fine. If you're not proud enough, if you're not confident in your sect of religion, that's fine. This is 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, and it reads. Second Ezra's. One second here. And you heard of the Israelites before?
The Israelites?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This is 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, and it reads. Matter of fact, I'll start at verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that follow? So in other words, Ezra asks, when's the end of the world going to come? You understand what I'm saying?
The end of the first could have a significance if we think of if we think of in the beginning when this ends. It could refer. Yeah. Well, I mean, part of what differentiated rabbinic scholars from other religious identities is rabbis were given freedom of interpretation.
No. But this right here is speaking about the end of a rulership, in the beginning of the kingdom of heaven. That's what it's speaking about, and it's going to go deeper into it in this verse.
I'm not particularly sharp on biblical.
Are you Jewish? You're Jewish, right?
Look, sorry. I'll say again that I prefer to the Torah.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm going to read this though. I'm going to read this real quick. It says, "What shall be the parting asunder of the times, or what shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that follow? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, Jacob and Esau were born of him. Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. So Jacob is the progenitor of the Israelites, and Esau is the progenitor of the Edomites, right? Which you are an Edomite. And it says
Jacob is the progenitor of the Israelites, and Esau is the
progenitor of the Edomites, which you are an Edomite. All right, and it says for Esau is the end.
Prefer to describing my identity.
No, I'm describing your.
Well,
you don't
no,
have
I
to
would
describe
prefer
it.
not to
This
be
is.
classified.
Well, I'm going to tell you what you are, man. I'm here to
Well,
speak the
like,
truth. This is a.
it's not
Look,
necessarily
I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you
that you
right now
know me
with
better
proof
than
right now that you're an Edomite. I'm going to show you. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. Right. So, which means Esau will be ruling at the end of the world. Right, the end of the world before the kingdom of heaven comes into power. Right, comes into place. So, who's ruling right now? Would you agree that we're in the end of the world? Would you agree we're at the end times right now?
The end of
with all the things that's going on?
The end of the world is a complex theological.
Well, I mean, one third. Let me give you a fact. Let me give you a fact. 1/3 of the water on the planet is polluted. Do you not see that as a huge problem with surviving any longer with that?
Well, unfortunately, we're living in a society that doesn't care much for the environment.
Well, I know that, but knowing that, do you think that this has to be the end of the world? Do you think that it's going to be hard to survive much longer in this condition? Well, knowing that 1/3 of the water is polluted.
I don't think that putting going all in, for lack of a better expression, on Revelation is the best way to go about being
what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you saying?
No, I'm saying like, if I think this makes sense, you can understand this, that to go all in on Revelation, I don't think it's consistent.
This is not Revelation.
Best describe the world as it is.
This is not Revelation. I'm reading
There's no need to hair split. I think if you're talking about the end of times and saying that we're in the end of times period, this is something that's consistent with what people.
Listen, man.
Let me finish.
You don't know what's going on, man. But that's the problem with you Edomites. You keep beating around the bush. I asked you a simple question and you're beating around the bush. Answer the question directly. Is this the end of the world? Yes or no? That's it. If you can't answer that question, then you might as well just walk down the street.
You can engage in civil discourse about.
Listen, do you know what the word civil means? You Edomites are the exact opposite of civil. Well, you know what the word civil means? Define the word civil.
I think it's fair on the basis of history.
What is
white oppression.
Right. So you Edomites are not civil. You Edomites are the exact